Hello. I come to you from close to the Sugarloaf ski area up in northern Maine. Lord knows what town. In Maine. And I'm about to climb one of the most remote mountains in Maine, above 4,000 feet in elevation. Currently, I drove up Caribou Pond Road, about 4 miles or so. The road itself is in a state of ruin. It is drivable, but you should probably have with you at least like a Subaru Outback or something. And here, oh, I understand now why there's a fence there that prevents you from driving any further, because potentially you don't want to drive over this old rusty thing. Anyway, gonna go up Mount Redington today. But in order to go up Mount Redington, I first have to go up to Mount South Crocker. We are currently approaching the end of May, and if you go hiking anywhere in northern New England this time of year, or June, especially beginning of June, you are going to be faced with a horrible reality that it is black fly season. The black flies will actively try to kill you. So be prepared with bug nets and bug spray and whatnot if you ever come here to hike this time of year. Many people choose not to, for very valid reasons. Why Mount Redington? Why, you ask, this mountain? Well, there's this thing that people like to do here in the northeastern US. We like to hike up mountains that are over 4,000 feet in elevation. This really got started with the 48 peaks in New Hampshire. There are 48 of them, all over 4,000 feet in elevation. And there's a similar situation in the Adirondack Mountains of New York. In upstate New York, there's 46 peaks there that have more than 4,000 feet of elevation, and there's 14, only 14 here in Maine, and Mount Redington is one of them. South Crocker and North Crocker are also one of them, 2 more of them, but Mount Redington is the most remote one, and the reason being is because there's no official trail really to the summit of Redington. So there's a bit of a herd path, a bit of a social trail going over to Redington from South Crocker. So that's what I'm gonna do. Follow first the Appalachian frickin' Trail to South Crocker's summit, if I can get to it, and then over to Redington. And here's another bridge that you probably don't want to drive over. Here I am. I made it to the Appalachian Trail. Only a little bit left until we get to Georgia. Just kidding. We are going north on the AT, not south, over to South Crocker Mountain. That's the first step in our lives that needs to get fulfilled. And man, is this gonna be miserable, potentially. If bug, then misery. I mean, it's gonna be a lot of this today. Just walking through a freaking forest and wondering whether you're still alive or in some sort of purgatory. Somebody should tidy this place up with a mop, or perhaps a broom. That would be much appreciated. Oh dear. Good Lord. Oh dear. Reginald, I farted. Oh no, my manic psychosis is acting up again. Reginald? Is that you? Are you bobbing up and down menacingly in a puddle again? Fairly soon, when I managed to get my ass up to the top of this ridge, I have heard some rumors that it's going to be blowdown heaven. So it's just, one commenter says on newenglandtrailconditions.com, I have never seen this many blowdowns in one place. But I can't think about that too much. You can't think about the horrors that lay ahead too much, because you gotta focus on the horrors that are in the here and now, which is this steep gradient here. So for the sake of breaking up some of the steep climbing, you are rewarded with this beautiful view of the Bigelow Range. Those are the two high, 4,000 foot plus high Bigelow peaks, on which I have a video, so if you're interested. That's where the AT goes next, basically, on its journey north. You go right over the top of that ridge and even continue over that smaller ridge to the right. Looking back towards the Bigelows. Oh, and you can now see Sugarloaf Mountain with all of its bare ski slopes. Wow, so I'm seeing a lot of fresh sawdust on the trail and some very fresh cuts on these trees here. So I think very recently somebody came and cut these and maintained this section of trail. That's crazy. Like, that review talking about blowdowns was just like a few days ago. Look at that. There's freshly cut logs all over the place and shavings all over where there were once blowdowns. I feel so blessed. It's sure is a bizarre time of year. It's so warm, and yet we have these little tiny patches of snow left. Meanwhile, I'm getting swarmed by bugs. South Crocker. Elevation 4,010 feet. The viewpoint is right this way. Like so. We're gonna continue to deal with a bit of a blowdown hell here, but it is what it is. Oh boy. Did I have to do that? Because, yeah, I don't know, whatever. And this is the view, I suppose. Okay, let's go. I found it. I found the view. And you can see some mountains here that we couldn't see before. So that one is Sugarloaf with the ski slopes on it. That one Spalding. And there's another one back there that has a bouldery sort of exposed summit. That one is Mount Abraham. Also 4,000 footer. Yeah. It's in a bit of a shape, this trail. That's where the trail is. Let me demonstrate one of the things I have to do in order to get to Mount Redington, okay? Are you ready for this? I mean, if you were looking for a terrible idea, this is it. I highly, highly do not recommend coming out here without sufficient navigational know-how and like at least 2 GPSs in case one fails or something. Yeah, I have like my phone, my GPS device, and a charging block. All of that I have in order to somewhat safely navigate this path. Whee! Mama! Just kill the man! Put a gun right up his ass. Pull the trigger, now his ass is grass. Mama! No, don't go that way, fam. No, don't go that way, King. Go this way instead. Just like so. Where it's a bit confusing, that turn off. And you turn off into what exactly? Oh boy. And I am back on some sort of trodden path here. Let me just like double check with my GPS. Oh! I slipped. Yes, I am on the path. Correct path. And it's nice and cool now, thankfully, without the sun heating up the surface of the earth to like a gazillion degrees. Oh! This is just silly. But I love it. I freaking love it. If you can see it through the trees, that big bulging lump is where I'm going. Mount freaking Redington. Just had to be like 1 foot higher than 4,000 feet. And that is why I am going towards it. See what I mean, okay? So you gotta do funny things when you're out here, like not keep going that way, okay? And instead spot this pink thing and go this way instead. User beware. Yes, this is not an official trail. You are on your own. I'm loving some of the trees I'm finding though. If there is such a thing as forest bathing, I did it today. I did some forest bathing. It was fun. And now clouds have moved in. It's a bit cooler. Thankful for that, because it has allowed for the bugs to calm down a little bit. Their activity is very temperature based. We press onwards through the butt crack of Maine. This is the butt crack. But sure is a beautiful, hairy but beautiful butt crack. Okay, we have made it to a checkpoint. I think we're most of the way there at this point. And this is an old logging road here. Or maybe backcountry ski trail, I don't know. But whatever it is, it helps to get us to the next section of the bushwhack, which is gonna be the properly uphill section going up Mount Redington. Okay, so at this cairn here, we're leaving the road once again, leaving the little cleared path. I don't know what it was used for, but now we are faced with the task of basically having to go up Mount Redington. Walked into some surreal stillness in the woods. It happens sometimes, like you actually pay attention to what's happening and you're like, there's something here, you know? There's something special. What I can say about the Redington side, though, of this bushwhack, it's definitely easier to follow, and it shows that more people have definitely come through here as opposed to the bushwhack coming down from Crocker, from South Crocker. So my guess is what's happening is people are coming up some alternative routes through the forest, following like old logging roads and whatnot. Some people do it that way instead of summiting two peaks today. So that's why I'm guessing this side is a bit easier to follow. The Redington side of this bushwhack across the saddle between South Crocker and Redington. I think this is it, you guys. The slightly anticlimactic end to the journey, because Mount Redington, I have neglected to tell you at this point, has no views. Yes, it has vibes only. This is a vibes only peak. No views. We are here for the vibes. And man, are the vibes good. And yeah, this is the clearing I've been looking for. There is a bit of a clearing. And let's see. Signage! Redington! 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 4,010 feet. Let's go, baby. Yeah, this is about as good a view as you're gonna get, I guess. I have no idea what any of those mountains are to the north there. Very woodsy. Anyway, this is the summit of Mount Redington, according to the esteemed website Peakbagger. But how true is that? I don't know. Like, no one comes to this particular spot here. This is a spot on the face of the earth that if it weren't for the sport of peak bagging, I would have never ever dreamed of ever coming here. The glorious buggy summit of Mount Redington. This is truly something, as I get bitten by a fly. 4,010 feet. I am so excited. Hold on. So over here was the sign that I just showed you. This right here, this glorious tube contains some information inside of it and some objects, potentially some cool stuff. If I can open it, that is. Okay, nice. I was just able to open it. The inside says Redington. It just slides off. As you can see, there aren't any threads on this. So the top cap slides off. And inside this bag, you have some stuff. Like this notepad here, and this other notepad here, and a bunch of musty wet pieces of paper. So I put down here May 27th, 2025, the date on which I hiked, and I wrote a delightful message here. And also I put down my name, so if you want to learn what my real name is, you will have to hike to the top of Mount Redington and open this book. Open this little, find this capsule here, open the book, and turn to this page, and so on and so forth. Okay. I signed the register. It's all put back everything as I found it. And now it's ready for the next hiker to come and sign the register as well. Boy, was this an adventure. Mount freaking Redington. Also, there's this thing. Just a little bit off the summit. I have no idea what it's for. Civil Consul, it says on top of it. TS. The glorious summit of Mount Redington. Sadly, it's time to say goodbye. Probably forever. Will I ever come back here? Who knows what life holds for me. But goodbye for now. Okay, so now that we've reached the summit, you might think the fun is over. No, my friend. The fun is just starting. This is the closest I've ever felt in my life to some sort of crazed wilderness explorer or something. You got yourself into this situation, now get yourself out. Go ahead, do it. It's a slow process to get yourself out of a situation like this one. It takes some time and diligence, definitely, to get out of a wilderness situation like this. Freaking Bear Grylls moment. Showing you some more beautiful scenery of the air quotes trail. Yeah, without proper forest navigation skills, don't try this. I don't recommend it. You shall not pass. Yeah, it's blow down heaven here right now. Guess why I am going uphill again? I just took a wrong turn and started hiking this wrong direction for a while, only to realize that I had went the wrong direction. So now I must regain the trail, retrace my step, and it requires going uphill. Okay, I found my way back to where I took a wrong turn. That's fun. So what I was going down was like a different way to get down this mountain, via some old logging roads and stuff through the woods. But instead, I am opting to take the trail going back to South Crocker, because it's more scenic that way, instead of just hiking through a forest. Yeah, so I took the wrong turn. I took the turn to go to the old logging roads and down into the valley, basically, which a lot of people do that after summiting Redington. So yeah, the more trodden path is going that way. So that's where I got confused. It's a beautiful mess out here. And just through the trees you can see Sugarloaf Mountain again with its cell towers at the summit. That's why I've had service, by the way. I've had cell service the entire time during this hike, because there's always a line of sight to Sugarloaf Mountain. But yeah, those are the Crockers, and that's where I'm headed. Let's freaking go. I made it to the whatever this is, and then I'm gonna walk this way to the second part of the bushwhack. Yeah, if you keep going that way, I assume you just go into logging road oblivion. So I'm just gonna head this way instead, where this pink ribbon is and where that cairn is, helpfully, to point you towards South Crocker. I have to go through that somehow. I remember coming down it. It was not as daunting looking from that angle, I suppose. So I'm gonna attempt to circumnavigate it. And this is the current state of this trail, unfortunately. Like, there's so many blowdowns. Every 50 feet, you're like, every 100 feet, you're going off the trail to get past a blowdown. And that's the perfect opportunity to lose the trail. Yeah, so I cannot stress this enough. Like, in this, while the trail is in this state, it is highly, highly recommended that you have sufficient navigation. And woodpecker. That's cool. I bid thee good tidings from the summit of South Crocker Mountain. I have made it back. Unfortunately, you can't see Mount Redington from this vantage point. It's kind of hidden behind those trees there. But what you can see is quite beautiful. Mount Abraham is the bald one back there. Spalding, Sugarloaf. And over there, peeking through the trees, are the Bigelows. A bunch of the Maine high peaks. Hats off. Thanks for watching. Yes, now it is time to somehow drag my ass back down this mountain. As I slowly go insane up here, thank you so much for watching. I'm not going to bore you furthermore with any more stuff. The way back down is the Appalachian Trail anyway, so pretty predictable. Anyhow, enough looking at my ugly face. I leave you with this beautiful view from the summit of South Crocker. Once again, thanks for watching.